Have you ever just laid there at 2 in the morning, looking at your dog sound asleep, pressed entirely against your legs, and wondered why? They have a perfectly good, expensive bed in the other room. They could be anywhere. But I started observing this behavior, and I realized something profound. We assume they just want warmth, or maybe they're just a little clingy. Let's be real. We kind of like that they're clingy. But when you actually look into the behavioral neuroscience of what is happening in that quiet room, it will completely change how you see them. What your dog is doing right now is the most complex, beautiful expression of trust that exists between two species. Today we're going to talk about what they are actually telling you when they refuse to sleep anywhere but by your side. Let's start with the most basic instinct of all, survival. For any animal, falling asleep is the ultimate act of vulnerability. Every ancient instinct wired into your dog's brain tells them to find a hidden, secure place when they are unconscious. And yet, instead of curling up in a quiet corner, they walk right past it. They climb into bed and press their body against a human who is 10 or 15 times their size. When you observe this through the lens of psychology, it's actually stunning. Researchers adapted a famous human psychological test used to study how infants bond with their mothers and tried it on dogs. The results showed that dogs form an attachment bond with their owners that is functionally identical to a human toddler. When your dog insists on touching you while they sleep, they aren't just looking for a soft blanket. They are seeking out their safe person at their most vulnerable moment. You are their shield against the dark. But this connection isn't just in their heads. It is literally in their blood. A few years ago, researchers in Japan measured something incredible. They looked at the oxytocin levels of dogs and their owners. Oxytocin is the chemical your brain floods your body with when you fall in love, or when a mother holds her newborn baby. The researchers found that when a dog gazes into your eyes and you look back, both of you experience a massive spike in oxytocin simultaneously, across entirely different species. Your oxytocin goes up, which makes you feel more bonded, so you pet them more. Their oxytocin goes up, which makes them feel deeply loved, so they press closer to you. It is a continuous, beautiful chemical loop. And here is the craziest part. Researchers tried the exact same experiment with wolves raised by humans from birth. The loop didn't activate. This profound chemical reaction co-evolved specifically between humans and dogs. Just 10 minutes of petting your dog measurably drops your stress hormones. Now, imagine what happens when you spend 8 uninterrupted hours sleeping pressed against each other. To really understand why they do this, you have to look backwards. Dogs are the only animals we domesticated before we even invented farming. 15,000 years ago, before cities or written language existed, the friendliest wolves started creeping up to human campfires. They stayed for the warmth and the scraps. And eventually, they just never left. In Germany, archaeologists found a grave dating back 14,000 years. It held 2 humans, buried right alongside 2 dogs. What makes that discovery so heartbreakingly beautiful is that one of the dogs had survived a disease that should have killed it in weeks, but it lived for months. That means a human being, 14 millennia ago, sat by a fire and nursed a sick animal back to health. They weren't just working tools. They were family. Geneticists have even found that our dogs carry unique genetic markers, specifically linked to extreme friendliness and the desire to seek human contact. Your dog isn't doing something weird or needy when they crawl into your bed. They are fulfilling a genetic promise written 15,000 years ago. Now I want to talk about something nobody else really mentions. Objectively speaking, dogs ruin our sleep. Studies from major clinics have tracked this. They move around, kick you, and take up the whole mattress. The sleep data shows more physical disruptions when a dog is in the bed. And yet, in those very same studies, almost every single person reported feeling more secure, comfortable, and significantly more rested when their dog was in the room. How is that possible? It comes down to something called co-regulation. Recent studies monitored the heart rate variability of dogs and their owners. They found that when a dog and their human rest together, their nervous systems literally sync up. When you are calm, they are calm. When you are stressed, their nervous system shifts to match yours. Sleeping next to your dog isn't just comforting. It is a biological event. 2 separate nervous systems, from 2 totally different species, quietly stabilizing each other through the night. So tonight, when they steal your covers, just remember, to them, you are the safest place in the entire world.